97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock.
Hello, this is Michael Spedden, and thanks for joining us today on the 97underground.com Michael Spedden Interviews channel here on YouTube. There have been many requests from both listeners and guests for us to make available our artist interviews so they can listen again or share with others. You can find us on YouTube at 97underground Michael Spedden. Remember, the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show, can be heard on 97underground.com every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Not only do I feature artist interviews, I feature songs you forgot you liked, classics that never die, beloved local, regional, up-and-coming, and underground artists. You can listen anytime, anywhere by downloading our free app from 97underground.com. Just do it. And now, today's episode. A.D. Adams is one of the most beloved musicians to come from the Mid-Atlantic, and he and Paul Williams from Escape the Hive joined me to share some songs off of their new album called This Is Going to Sting, and talk about the band, the production of the album, and much more. For more information on Escape the Hive, you can find it on their linktree link. Enjoy. And welcome back to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. And today we have a couple of special guests, A.D. Adams and his bandmate Paul Williams from Escape the Hive. They just put out one hell of a good album, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Well, actually, they're here to tell us all about it. So welcome, guys. It's good to have you today.
Thank you. Hey, Michael. How you been, brother? Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too, A.D. Good to see you too. And Paul, it's nice to meet you today. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yep. So you have, Escape the Hive. You've released an album earlier this year, and it's a great album. I've been listening to it. I did get a song on the show a couple of weeks ago, and like I said, it's just really, really good material. So tell me about how you got this all together and started, where this, from.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It kind of started during the pandemic. Me and AD actually were playing with another guy. Red Dirt sort of country thing for a while, so that's how we knew each other, and that kind of went south or just stopped. Wasn't doing anything musically. I knew Michael Beck, the singer, through the studio work and stuff like that we've done together, and he just texted me one day, and he's just like, hey, what are you doing musically right now? I'm like, nothing. He's like, you got any tunes? I'm like, yeah, I got a handful. He's like, bring them in, let's see what happens, right? So that's what happened. And then so me and him kind of put the record together using a couple different guitar players. When it came time to record, we enlisted my favorite drummer.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Michael, not only did Paulie and I have history playing with the other band, 6-7 years I think, and we made a record with that group, and then but Michael, our singer, and I have history going way back.
Mm-hmm.
In his studio, he's also a producer, and I recorded a track with Pete Lauren from Trickster way back in the day. But man, this was like 2002 or something, and we stayed in touch. We made friends, and we see each other around town, and ended up just kind of having a little project together here and there. But then, Paulie, let me know about this situation. I'm like, oh, dude, that's just, between him and Michael alone, that's an all-star lineup. So,
it is. Yeah.
And the demos, they sent me the demos. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is great stuff. So It was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. And with me, and I have to say I'm a little bit biased, being a bass player myself, whenever I listen to anything, my ears tend to gravitate towards the rhythm section. I got to say, you guys were just top of the line on this album. The way the two of you really played together in these songs. I mean, it was just amazing, the things that you did. The creativity, the rhythms, the sounds that you guys really put together. I can tell you all, you're known to each other, and you've played together before, and you've been working together for a good while here. Tell us a little bit about this chemistry you guys have. I mean, it was just, you guys really seemed to complete each other, I think, in a way.
Yeah, well, honestly, I met AD in Mexico. He was filling in for the band that we ended up being in together. And I don't know if it comes with the tequila. And his live show was very impromptu, so you had to kind of be on your toes and listen for changes and expect changes that aren't supposed to be there. So anyway, we had a lot of fun doing that together, and I think we just sort of share sort of a rhythmic musical brain, And
can.
I know when he's going to start something, and he
Uh-huh.
can hear when I'm going somewhere.
It
And
really is weird. Well, you're a bass player, Michael, so you know that feeling when you just lock. It just, you don't have to. It can be just a tilt of a head or a nod or just
Uh-huh.
I know his conversation musically, and he knows mine. And what was really, I think, good about doing the record with my style of playing, and of course with the way Paulie plays as well, is that the demos offered an awful lot of latitude for the rhythms. The guitars were there. It was basically voice and guitar and some, rough, drumming here and there, but I was able to look through that. But the demos themselves lent themselves to a lot of latitude, and we took full advantage of it. We didn't try to fill holes that didn't need filled, but we did want to emphasize things that needed underlined or italicized or colored a certain way. So, we were able to have that sort of that musical playground that we could do. And then, which left the keyboard player some gaps and let the guitar player, play unfettered. So we just took whatever space was left and offered to us and tried to lock in. And I think there's a melodic aspect to the rhythm on this record.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
I've always been a melodic drummer. I learned how to play with a guitar player rather than a bass player. And Paulie's not afraid to make that jump and lock in. And then, he's easy to follow. It's craziest idiot that he plays.
and it's funny too, because some of the songs were written by a bass player as a bass player. So it's like I knew what I wanted to hear guitar wise, but I'm not that good of a guitar player, so I couldn't really translate it. The first guitar player, the guy that actually ended up doing the record with us, he's very accomplished, and he's like, I've never done this before. He's like, the song is already here. What do you want me to do?
Right.
Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean by that. When I do my writing, I'm always I play guitar to write. I'm not really a great guitar player, but I know what you hear more of a whole picture. When you're playing guitar and writing and everything. So why don't we spin something here? You had mentioned the song "Separate Lives." This is "Separate Lives" by Escape the Hive.
Sun is on the rise, all the way to sunset. Ain't no big surprise, all this thread of regret. The answer's in disguise, but clear as can be, out there among the ruins. But the only thing I see, now where else would I be?
to tell you, I really like that song. With my bass player ears on, the things that you were doing on that song are just phenomenal. Even from the beginning all the way through. And I really, for the one thing I wanted to tell you is that I really like your sound. You have a good amount of high end in your sound, but it doesn't take away from it being an overall rich bass sound that you have.
Sure.
And the way that you just follow along with AD's rhythms on this and some of the other songs on there, I mean, just some of the things that you put in there, and then what you did under that guitar solo was just completely badass. I mean, that was, I really appreciate, as a bass player, the things that you've done in there. I mean, it seems like you're a good common sense bass player where you know how to keep the groove going and keep the groove, but you're not scared to, just go off the rails a little bit, and whenever you do, it's just boom right there,
Well, you can't let the guitar player have all the fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my tone comes primarily from my Spectre basses that I play. I play a PJ setup. It's all the tone pumps with the EMGs and stuff. So the thing is just killer. And then I dial it in with a little fuzz. I actually use an Ibanez Tube Screamer.
Oh, okay.
That's where the high end fuzz comes from. And then I sort of split that, and I get the low end growl. So we track it in two separate tracks too. So one's just a straight DI with the low end growl, with the screamer, and then the other is just all amp.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, it's an excellent sound, and like I said, some of the things actually kind of remind me a little bit. Did you grow up listening to a lot of Entwistle?
Actually, no, I wasn't a huge Who fan until later. But I grew up actually listening to a lot of like Duff McKagan. Cliff Burton. I was a huge Billy Sheehan fan back in the day.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Talus and stuff. I've sort of created my own sound. In the 90s and 2000s, I was a big metal guy, and metal bass comes so far now where it's almost like another guitar with the tones that they're getting. I appreciate some of that, but I also like to know that it's bass.
Right.
Yeah, I think my tone is probably ever evolving, I would say.
Yeah, it's a good tone too, and kind of what you were saying too. It is starting to sound a bit more and more like guitar, but you remember that you are the bass player too, and you kind of keep your low end and that groove going and everything. Right. And it's great. Like I said, I was listening to this, and I just really, as a bass player, I really had a special appreciation for what you did on the material.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. Very well done. And again, a good drummer to play with too.
It makes it easy for sure.
I really thought the two of you complemented each other very well on this whole album here. So why don't we spin something else here? Another one that you mentioned that you were fond of that we can feature today is called I've Seen the Future. Anything you want to tell us about that before we spin it?
Well, we will be having a video coming out on YouTube probably late November, early December for this one. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
This is just kind of a song about, the repeating of the past, the lessons you don't learn. You see the future by looking at the past,
You sure do. And as they say, those who don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. And and nobody's learned from that either, because it's just, nobody's even learned from that quote, it seems like.
No.
Oh boy, don't get me started.
It makes too much sense.
Yeah. So here it is. This is I've Seen the Future from Escape the Hive.
From the stone, then give everything back you have known. Watch for the animals, the things you what you've seen. No one's offered another theory. It's too much to believe. And all the colors, red and blue, find a place to live. 'Cause flying through the air ain't no place to stay.
And that was I've Seen the Future. You know, another great song from you guys here. I mean, again, this is just a wonderful album, and I give it 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, whatever you want to do. It's a very enjoyable album, very well played. The songs are good, and you know, we've been talking a lot about the rhythm section here and everything, but you've got a great guitar player. You know, every band member is great, and I really like your singer too. So,
well, there's pedigree there. Michael Beck, our singer, sang with Red Dragon Cartel, Jake E. Lee's band.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
He was in that group. Our guitar player is a young cat. He's played with Alice Cooper. What is he?
22.
He's 11 years old. I mean, he's like 22. I mean, the guy. I want to choke him out. He's so young. It kills me. But his name is Conrad Varela, and he is the man. You know, he's got pedigree already, and he's a kid. I mean, he poises himself like he's been doing this whole life. He's relaxed, he's fun. He's an old pro at 22, so he's a joy. And our keyboard player is a cat named Mike Bars, who is he's all over town anymore. We were lucky to grab him, so he's our John Lord, and he's killing it on the keys. So you know, it's a good solid lineup. You know, couldn't ask for better players, better group of guys. That's the thing too. You know, in this business, they say, you know, 90% is the hang. Can you hang with the guys?
Oh yeah.
And these are all a great bunch of guys. So that's what makes this, you know, not only easy but really super enjoyable as well.
That's great. And so you've been doing some shows this year. And I know, you know, you're AD, you know, you're out there with Louis Prima Jr. and you're juggling that and, you know, a lot of other things now, but are you going to be able to do a tour maybe later this year or towards after the first of the year, maybe?
After the first of the year, yeah.
Yeah, when I'm coordinating schedules so that there's no overlap. I want to make sure that I can do both without compromising either. That's really important to me. So that's always the trick, but there's plenty of room, you know, for both. And I'm blessed to be able to do that.
That's great. That's great. So where can we get this awesome album of yours?
Oh man, it's everywhere. It's on every digital platform: Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora. We have vinyl order available.
Oh yeah, it's coming out on vinyl.
I believe you can pre-sale that. If not yet, it will be very shortly. But those should be hitting the States in probably right around Thanksgiving. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey.
And we have a link tree, and I don't know what that is, though.
Our 22-year-old guitar player needs.
Yeah, our 22-year-old guitar player knows what that is.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Yeah, it's the link tree. It's linktr.ee, and that has everything. But if you go on Facebook or Instagram, it's all Escape the Hive.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Escape the Hive. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those before. I think it's got like your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, all your links together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
can
sort of
buy our tickets,
one-stop
our
shop.
merch, everything right through there. We're,
Mhm.
we're on Bandcamp, pretty much everywhere that you can and should be. We are.
I'll
And
be
is there
bringing
a
up more things I know nothing about.
and is there a main website too? Just
No, not really. We're just using the link tree and then the socials.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, good. Well, folks, plenty of places you can find Escape the Hive. It's just a wonderful, wonderful album. And remember, the holidays are around the corner, folks. Support our artists. Support our artists, indeed.
The vinyl.
Yep, yep. The vinyl, the music, the show tickets. Get out there and support our artists. That's what it's all about, folks. We're going to
Yeah,
spin one more here. This is Roll the Dice. AD and Paul, thank you for joining us today. It was great to see you again, AD and Paul. Nice to meet you. Again, this is Roll the Dice from Escape the Hive.
All right. Hey, thanks for having us, brother.
Round the corner, I leave what I want for what I need. Set out for something more than I can see. I can feel it. Yes, I feel it. Out in the distance, it's a light of sorts just out of reach. Sit back and watch your calls. You'll never know what luck can teach. Don't deny it. Don't even try it. Yeah. Roll the dice. Get around the corner makes it alright. Roll the dice. I bet the luck, just let it ride. Just let it ride. Let it ride. Rags to riches, back to rags, it's all in the name of the game. Break the bank when you get the itches, it's always a place for the blame, 'cause you need it. Just gotta feed it. Put down the lock, the stock, the pair of the farm, whatever you want. No way to have it all, unless the need is more than the want, but you know it. Just don't blow it, yeah. Roll the dice. Step around in the corner makes it alright. Roll the dice. I broke the luck, just let it ride. Just let it ride. Let it ride. Let it
Like to thank A.D. Adams and Paul Williams from Escape the Hive for stopping by today. Great to hear from them. It's a great new album. Check it out if you can. This is The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. We'll be back right after these. And thanks again for listening to 97 Underground, the Michael Spedden Interviews, and we hope you enjoyed today's show. Remember, download the free app from 97underground.com so you can listen to us wherever you go. The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show, can be heard on 97underground.com every Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Listen anytime, anywhere.
Metal.
Worldwide Metal 24/7. 97underground.com.